this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Tennessee Titans. Two 1-2 teams, each hoping to get back to 500, and we're underway in Week 4. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Their own 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got him in. It's Brown. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
At the 40-yard line.
Second and 2. Forced out to his left. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 41-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. 50, man. Off the screen, off the screen, off the screen. Wahoo.
Now back to throw. Steps away to his left. And a big loss loss here as he's taken down.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. Now he's forced out left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Give him 25 yards on the play there. And that's going to make it 4th down. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. It'll continue to be interesting in these wet conditions how these kickers fare, but first test, passed.
And how about how the special teams unit handled that? A lot of concentration to make sure the ball didn't slip through his fingers. After the snap, got it down and let him pop it through the posts.
Set 180, round 80. Let's go, D. Check the hot read. Check 13.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 39, Rivers. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
I know a retirement ceremony is a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 43-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
be a long day for you.
A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Brings up 3rd down.
Black 15! Go orange. Orange. Mike 5-4, Mike 5. Hey, shoot!
Play action now. Rivers. Well, he's going to go for it all. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 32-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
At the 41-yard line.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Let him know, let him know.
Derrick Henry. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards there and a first down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And caught by Henry. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That really sets him back, a loss of 6.
Some people call it a shuffle pass. Some people call it a shovel pass. All you're trying to do is open up the middle of the field, flip the ball forward. In this case, they didn't gain any yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long.
Ready, ready. Hey, one set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Tackles. Ready, go.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this in. But it's all the way down at the Niners' 27-yard line.
First and 10 at the 27.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Whip. Watch the whip. Bravo. Ready.
Looking to throw. Being chased out left. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Let's see what you got. Hunt up. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. 6'3", 218. Chopper, chopper. Ready.
A shotgun handoff to Henry. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. Succop's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6.
And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. Here's Jacobs on first and 10. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
180, block 11. You can't block me. You can't block me. Kill, kill, kill. Check, check, check.
On second and 11 now. Rivers. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick.
And got his man complete. And he'll go down, but a big play that time for the Titans. 71 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
19-yard line.
Right there, 56. 81.
They'll toss it to Henry. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The tackle there by Richard Sherman.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
On second down now, it's Henry. He will push his way down to about the 14. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Let's go defense. Let's go defense.
He may try and run for this. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get the first. The decision to run on third and medium winds up being a good one. They come out here in the I.
Watch the 61. Matchbox. Light.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this time he'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal. And Suckup will put this one right through. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Niners take over 1st and 10. At their own 26-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s. Back-to-back, what a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing Rivers. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play, and facing a 2nd and long. They'll run with Muhammad. 3rd down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. On 3rd down, Grant. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Check, green 80, green 80. Cluster. Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Get that quarterback. Hey, box truck. Check right.
The first down throw here for Rivers. Buying time to his left. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. That'll bring up second down. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rivers. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. And Gold is able to put it through. And they take the lead here by a point, 10-9. So a little late drama in the first half as that kick will give them the lead into intermission.
Isn't this fun the way that this is unfolding? You're exactly right. The late drama, 3 points go up on the board, and we go.
After this, you're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now Rivers. They're going to set up the screen here. This is Grant. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Black 15! Black 54! I got you.
They'll try the left side. Benjamin. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. To throw, Rivers. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Go. Alpha.
And that'll set them back 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the kicker fest continues. He's been good, though. Knocked through 4 of them now.
If you're the kickers for these two teams, you know what you're doing next week in practice?
Asking for a pay raise?
Yeah, besides that, you're walking into all the meeting rooms saying, you love us now, don't you? Now you love us because you need us, because that's all we've seen. Kickers scoring all the points.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Alpha.
Off the play fake here, Rivers. He's going to run inside the 30. And they're going to have this all the way down deep into Tennessee territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Jacobs. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out?
And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Amari Cooper, his first touchdown on the year. And once again, the 49ers are back out in front. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 46. It's caught. Smith. It's on EA Sports. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again. Buzz. Check Mike.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another 1st down. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Hey, check Mike 33. Check Mike 33. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up. That's it. Echo.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
At the 10-yard line.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. 2nd and 10. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Jonnu Smith, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans have once again taken the lead.
Check 3, check 3, check 3.
They're going to try and run. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counter.
Touchdown, 49ers! Corey Grant, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to regain the lead. And they grab that lead right back.
Talk about a seesaw game. Up, down, up, down. Did you have a seesaw? Did you play that when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah. Out on the playground, absolutely.
You had to make sure that you matched weight, though, on the other side, though, right? Otherwise, you could be up in the air a long time.
By the way, we're not done in this one. I think we're set up for an exciting finish. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well. Now a first carry for their fullback. Obi Melifonwu with the tackle.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. 50, plant. Go! Hey, Taylor. 3, check my...
Here's 2nd and 8. Escaping the pressure right. And that's going to be incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
They're going to look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Black. Tennessee getting the first down on a big play of 18 yards. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 38. On play action, they'll throw. Throw left side complete. That's Black. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there at 22. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. 4th. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
2nd and 3. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Mike's by 4. I'm coming for you. You mine. 54 is Mike. 50. Hey. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. You gonna see me, Charlie? Son, you gonna go.
They'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. He finds Humphries. But he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
You better be afraid of me. Check.
They'll give Henry another shot. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Oh, no, he lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the game, instead they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. This is Grant. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.